You guys asked and I am going to deliver. Now, you have asked for a couple of tips and tricks when it comes to custom paint. Therefore, I'm going to do a video with a couple of tips and tricks on custom paint. This video is proudly brought to you by Custom Paints, who I'll tag down below. Fantastic custom paints company, American and UK based. Absolutely fantastic. Check them out. They're in the link below. I'll tag them below. Go check them out. Brilliant stuff. Now, today I've got my Chrysler 302 Hot Wheels build in the booth, and I'm just started doing the line work. And I'm just going to give you a couple of tips and tricks on how to sand your flake ready for custom paint without completely ruining it. As many of you are probably already aware, if you burn through and hit your flake, it is game over. If it's somewhere inconspicuous, you may get away with it. However, when you're doing high-end 30, 40 grand custom paint jobs, you cannot afford to make a mistake, especially if it's somewhere obvious. The problem being, you can't blend flake out. Just as candies, you can't blend candies out because that overlay, it gets darker every time. So you will always see where you filled in and blended. The same with the flake. The consistency of the flake. You must keep the car as together as possible and be consistent as possible all over the entire thing, all in one go. Because if you don't, it will be patchy, right? And obviously if you have to fill in a mistake, if you try to fill in a mistake, it will be so obvious. It's just no point doing it. If you burn through, you may as well sand the entire car flat back again and start all over again. Let's stop messing around and get into the tips and tricks. So tip one, always start and finish with a 500 grit on an interface pad on a DA, right? Presuming you have blocked the car a million times already, you need to do this bit in a 500 on a DA. You need to do all the flat sections first, all the flat sections, avoid all of the edges, leave them alone. Do all of the flat panels, right? The reason that you leave the edges until last is because if anything happens, if you slip, if you fall, if the DA grabs and it moves and it goes somewhere else, if you hit an edge or a corner, which is already extremely thin, I may add, and you've already sanded it, guess what? You're burning through. Leave the edges until the end. Do the whole car. Do your whole panel. Everything you need to do first. All the flat sections. And then controllably go over the corners. Another thing to add to that is I actually change my 500 disc on every single panel. I actually did twice per panel on this car. I think I went for about 40 500 grit sanding discs. This is not because I'm lazy and I wanted to speed it up. This is because I want a consistent sand the entire time. If it starts going dull and a little bit soft, it's going to sand slower. And then when I come to change the sanding disc, it's going to be more aggressive. I want to keep the consistency of the grit so that it doesn't fuck my own head up. I can keep the same technique, I can keep the same speeds, I can keep the same movements, If you don't change it often enough, it will be harsh, then soft, then harsh, then soft. And you'll end up making a mistake. It just isn't worth it. For the sake of 70 quid's worth of sanding discs, it doesn't fucking matter. If your job is worth that much, why are you gonna cry about 70 quid's worth of sanding discs? It's silly. So buy yourself a whole brand new set of 500 grit sanding discs from Merkur or something, or from Custom Paints. I personally use the Merkur ones because it's just what we've always had and I'm happy with them. There's no need for me to change. So yeah, always change. Oh, that's tip number two then, isn't it? Tip number two, change your 500 grit pad every panel, at least every panel. Now, moving on, I guess we're on number three then. You had a little cheeky bonus one there. Now, tip number three, always start from the top of the vehicle and down. This is a pretty obvious one, but maybe not to some. When you are using a DA, you have a cable generally. I mean, you ain't gonna do an entire car with a battery-powered DA. So I'm gonna presume that you are all gonna be using an electric or an air DA. Airline comes with an airline, and the other one comes with a power cable. You don't want that banging up the side of a freshly prepped panel. One, the rubber can leave markings that you're then going to have to sand out. If you've already sanded it, you don't want to be sanding and putting wobbles in it. And you don't want to cause any damage, you don't want any dirt to go up there, because the airline does get dirty. It doesn't matter how clean your booth is, the airline just is dirty all the time. So you don't want to be smearing dirt and grime and all sorts of shit up a freshly prepped panel. So start up the top, do the roof, do the bonnet, move to the wings and the bumpers, then the side skirts and the sills and the under chassis, and we'll just work from the top down. Much better process. Tip number 4, when using the DA, right, this is a bit of an off the tree one, right? When you're using the DA, move away from yourself and then come back and move away from yourself slowly, because you cannot see, if you're doing the roof or something, this is what I'm using as an example, the roof. If I'm doing the roof, I do not want to be dragging the DA towards me, because I ain't got a fucking clue what's happening behind it. I want to be coming back quickly and I'm pushing it away nice and slow so I can see everything that's happening. If I'm doing that this way, I've got absolutely no fucking idea how much I've sanded through the panel, because it's behind the DA. So move away, it's much safer, you can see what you're doing, it's easier, it's safer, and you ain't gonna burn through your flake. Step number 5, don't be a pussy. If you can't get these panels flat, right, without loads of nuggets in them, then you haven't got enough lacquer on it. If you're gonna leave loads of nuggets, you can get away with slight bits of peel that are left over, right? You can. People will say, no, you can't. You can, because the colour and the stuff and the airbrushing will take it up, and you're still going to lacquer it at the end and cut and polish it. So it's kind of irrelevant. But if you're leaving big crevices in there all over, like leopard print style, you can't do it. And if you're too much of a pussy to sand it to a point where it's flat, then you shouldn't be doing it, right? It does take a lot of balls. It's the most nerve-wracking job I would say, in custom paint world, is sanding through your flake, because it is, if you mess it up, it is literally game over. It's so same with the candies. If you mess up your candy paint job, generally it is game over and you have to start again from scratch. It's honestly, it's one of the most volatile ways of doing custom paint, but it is one of the most rewarding. So definitely don't quit on it. Don't not do it because it's scary. But if you do it, don't be a pussy about it. Tip number, what number are we on? 5? 6? I don't know. Tip number next. When you are done, blow the car off, clean the car off, and degrease the shit out of it. Because, like I said, if it goes wrong, you are fucked. Literally fucked. Degrease the shit out of the car 3 times, degrease it, buff it off. Degrease it, buff it off. Degrease it, buff it off. It's just because you're putting degreaser on the car does not mean it is degreased. You're literally putting it on the car, smearing it around and leaving it there. It doesn't make sense. You put the degreaser on the car, you give it a scrub-a-doodle, and you get a fresh clean cloth afterwards, following you around with the wet one, and you buff it back off to collect them particles and silicons and shit that you have dislodged with this one. So you clean it with one, wipe it with the other, waxed on, waxed off. There was another tip I had for you, but it seems to have departed my brain. I mean, it is 7 o'clock in the morning. I've not long woken up, so I'm a bit tired, so bear with me. But I think that's more than enough tips and tricks for now, don't you? There's a couple of goodies in there. So if this helps you, let me know, stick it in the comments, give us a shout, and any more advice, any more questions, please do put them in the comments, and I will do more videos on them. A lot of people have asked me for more educational stuff and talk about tips and tricks of the custom paint world. So I'm just gonna start doing videos like that. So please give me some inspiration, ask me things you wanna know, and we'll get on it. So that's all for now. Hope it was useful for you. Hope useful for you. Fucking hell, it really is early in the morning. I'm gonna go. Love you all. Toodle pip. See you in a bit. Much love. I remembered what the other tip was. If you are sanding a panel and then all of a sudden it goes really clear, like real clarity in that one patch, stop fucking sanding it because it's about to burn through. Anyway, love you, bye.